trying to wait for as many people as possible to join. So we just get started now. So what we're trying to do today is to just go through all the application guidelines as quickly as we can, and I'm sure there are lots of questions, and we will just attend to the questions. I'll rush through the application guidelines, and we ask some few questions from everyone, which I will introduce every speaker very soon. And then after the whole thing, maybe in 30 minutes or so, start taking questions. So if you have questions during the whole thing, just type it in the chat box, or just note your question, and I'll call you. And if you prefer me reading it out, just let me know. And if you want to talk, I'll just give you the mic, and you go ahead and ask your questions. And so today we are supposed to have four speakers, but I think about 3 have joined already, and I'll just introduce them. So the first speaker is Olumide. Olumide is a popular man in our group, and he's in Soltech, right, studying electrical and electronic engineering, and he finished from University of Ilorin with a first-class degree. Olumide, thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you for having me.
It's always helping, Actually, all these guys are very wonderful. It's very late in Korea already, and they are here to help us. So thank you guys. And Emmanuel, the last time we held this kind of meeting, Emmanuel was not in Korea yet. I was just telling him during the start of the meeting. He got to Korea about 2 weeks or so ago, and you can see he's already a freshman. Emmanuel got the KDI Scholarship. He's one of the most hardworking people I've met. I remember he sent about a lot of applications to Korea, so I bet he will talk about that during the show. So Emmanuel, it's really nice to see you in Korea. Welcome here.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, bro. And Sophia got about 2 scholarships in 2024, right? She got the GKS and also the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, and she's currently in Daegu, right? Daegu in Korea. And Sophia, thank you so much for coming here. I know it's late.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And the last person, which I will introduce later, I don't know if he's here already. Oh, see, he's just joining. Abidemi Folorunsho is the last person I will introduce. He just joined now. I met Bashir. His name is Abidemi Folorunsho. I met him in Korea in 2022, I think. We were both master's degree students back then, and we were at the conference. We were the only Africans at the conference, of course, as you can imagine. So we became brothers since then, to be honest. He's one of my closest friends in Korea, and it's on professor scholarship. So not GKS, not KDI, but professor scholarship. He finished his master's degree and is currently doing his PhD in Korea. So the GKS this year offers about 11 spots or so. So let's say 11 people go from our group. We still need spots for about, 80 people or so, right? So this is an opportunity to ask questions on how to reach out to professors and how to, secure funding. It's probably any more than GKS, now rich man in B. So anyway, Abidemi Folorunsho, thank you for coming here. I really appreciate it, brother.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Okay, so we'll get started. I will rush through the whole application guidelines, and then if you have questions, just type it in the chat box, and after the whole thing, I'll call you to ask your questions. So I'll just start directly from the eligibility, and so firstly, the nationality is important. Of course, all applicants must hold citizenship of NID designated countries. So I don't think that's very important to us. We are mostly Nigerians and maybe some other African countries. The level of education, all applicants must have obtained the required degree. So that's a very important one. And then grades. Now, this is very important. So your CGPA must be equal to or above 2.64 out of 4.0. We use 5.0 mostly in Nigeria, so the important one is the 3.23. So you need to have about 3.23, and if you don't have up to this, you need to be able to prove that you are part of the, I think, 20th percentile of the class, right? So so probably in some courses like geology, I don't know, English language and this difficult courses where they don't graduate with a lot of, they don't have lots of first class and they don't have lots of high grades. You can get a letter from your school proving that, okay, I don't have a 4.0, I don't have a 3.23, but I graduated as part of the top students in my class, then you can be considered. And really, don't let your grade limit you. One of our speakers here will probably talk about that. It's a wonderful story, and you guys will, you guys shouldn't be discouraged. It's not a big deal. Then your age, you must be under the age of 40 years old for the. Somebody asked this question in the group, and I said, brother, read the guidelines. So yeah, it's written here. You need to be under 40 years of age. Your language ability, if you have the Korean, the TOPIK exam, I mean the TOPIK score, it's an advantage, but it's not mandatory. Your health, you must be healthy, of course, and yeah, so a lot of things we don't really care about. Okay, good. So I'll go through the documents to submit. The first one is the application form. Of course, you fill it. I think you can fill with pen and you can fill with you can type it, right, guys? It doesn't matter. Right?
Yes.
I think I typed mine, but if you have a legible handwriting, you can definitely fill it with your hand.
I think typing is better. Typing is better. No, typing is better because no matter how good your handwriting is,
and
just
also
that you do it correctly, and everyone can be true, can be scanned forwarded and the like.
Right.
Exactly.
And those guys don't. They might not understand.
You're talking it twice.
Yeah, and they might not understand. I mean, English. Even they probably use Papago or something to scan it and translate.
They use translators. They use Papago to translate it at some point.
Exactly. So it's better to type it in. And you can use applications like Adobe. I think there's this fill and sign. That's what I used. So you can use all those apps to just type your names and everything on the form. The next one is a personal statement. Now, I thought the personal statement was discontinued. But anyway, the form 2 says personal statement. So in your personal statement, you need to write your story. You need to. Now, is personal statement part of the forms? Just give me a minute to open the form. So, because I'm not sure I saw the personal statement while I was going through the whole thing. I saw the statement of purpose and I saw the study plan. But anyway, the personal statement, the statement of purpose, they are almost, sometimes they use them interchangeably. So here you want to tell your story, you want to talk about your academic achievements, you want to talk about your motivation for applying to this program, and you want to talk about your I don't know, why you apply to that school. You must have a reason and why you apply to Korea. And I sent some copies of my essays to the group some days ago, so you might want to check that. And if our speakers have some recommendations, I would like to maybe start from Olumide, just as it appears on my screen. Olumide, Emmanuel, Sophia, and Bashiru. So, do you have any recommendation on how to write that killer statement of purpose? The one you wrote, you wrote a good one, obviously, because you guys got accepted.
Yeah, I don't think if they just look at what you've sent and they just now follow your style.
Follow it, yeah.
I think it will be good. Yeah.
Okay. If you don't mind, you might send your copy of the study plan to the group just in case, because I don't want. And guys, please don't copy these things, because it's at the end of the day, when you start seeing lots of study plan from the same group, you start seeing that, okay, these guys have been following the same pattern, which is not good. So yeah. Okay.
And another
Yeah.
another thing to just point out is they should just, while writing the essay, they should make sure they answer all the question prompts. I think on the personal statement and the study plan also, they write out some prompts,
Right.
like what they should write about. So in all the writing, they should make sure they do justice to those things.
Definitely.
Because I think,
yeah, if you check the study plan and most documents in the application file, you will see the prompts at the top, which you need to erase maybe after writing your thing. So just follow whatever they have there. So Emmanuel, do you have anything to add to this?
Okay, what I actually want to add is just to emphasize more on what Olumide said. It's actually unique for you for your statement of purpose and personal statement to be entirely different, because it makes it fascinating. Because all of us love stories that are touchy, stories that have a narrative, using the basic composition analysis of challenges, the obstacles you face, challenges you faced, how you overcame those obstacles, and how you were able to get to the point you are today. I know someone is one of those people that was very close to during my application process. I got to the stage of the interview for GKS, but I lost my dad then.
Right.
So I was unable to attend the interview because I was in the village. The network there was bad. So that was the reason why I lost in GKS. And mind you, I graduated with a 2-2.
Right.
And there is a lot of story behind it. I had an issue with my HOD. We had some fight here and there because of school, SUG, Warawara, and the like. So he had no reason to speak about my potential, but he personally told me that he would give it to me.
Yeah, you
So that's the point. You don't allow situations to limit you. So I poured my personal experience into my statement of purpose. It must not necessarily connect academically, because some people have medical issues in their senior 4 year or in their 3rd year.
Right.
When you connect how you were able to overcome those personal challenges and you were able to graduate with your mate, as the case may be, at least if regardless of the whole challenges you faced, you came out as one of the top persons in your class, and you came out among the top 20 in your class. Don't mind Olumide. Olumide is a first class, it's good. His story will be straightforward, which is totally understandable. Those are his students. But as someone who has actually reviewed some documents, I don't know if you are aligned that school of thought with me, but a lot of persons look out for people who crossed obstacles, people who their stories are fascinating. So they judge by, okay, these ones are exceptional, brilliant students, but we want to see those students who were able to pass through challenges and come out better. So your story has to be different. It's okay for you to be different. It's okay for you to talk about how your village had some cultural and there's security issues as somebody who is studying something. It's okay for you to talk about erosion control as an environmental engineer. It's okay to talk about electrocution, that the reason why you're studying electrical engineering is because light shock you.
Of course.
You wanted to ensure that there is safety in the building wherever you work. It's okay to talk about how somebody used ChatGPT to write an exam and failed, and you're trying to build an algorithm that is human inclined as a computer engineer. It's okay to talk about your brother being arrested by policemen and you talking about this, and that's the reason why you're studying law.
Yeah.
You understand? It's okay to talk about, after all, one of the most marketable presidential stories that we've heard in Nigeria was Jonathan saying he went to school without shoes, and everybody bought that agenda. So there's this sympathy that the human person has that kind of connects to your story. In your mind, you think that story is irrelevant. In your mind, you think that story doesn't connect academically. That's the more reason why you have the statement of purpose and the personal statement. So in a situation whereby you have an opportunity to tell your personal statement in quotes, I call it your personal story, not necessarily your personal story. Try as much as possible to tell the story and connect it.
Right.
As the 4 R's. You could just give it the thing.
I agree.
I've heard stories, just in summary, I've heard stories where people go for visa interviews, especially US visa interviews, and everybody comes for the visa interview, even people who have fully funded scholarship. And there's this person who comes with this fascinating story of how he wants to build Google to go in his village. And he has a deficit of about 50,000 in his scholarship. And the person said, I like this your story. You're going to do it. Baba, you could not stamp your visa. And when you understand the place of grace, you understand the place of grace, but you put your stories intact. So I'm going to end here and in
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Tell your story.
Your
personal statement should be your story.
Yeah.
Everybody connects to that emotional part of storytelling.
That's very true. Very true. You need to be able to tell your story. Sometimes people just connect with sad stories. They just connect. They are sympathetic with you and they see that you are strong. You are able to like overcome. Because trust me, in graduate school you will have lots of challenges and you need that zeal. You need that power to overcome whatever comes. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Sophia, if you want to add something, please do.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I think Mr. Olumide and Mr. Emmanuel has said a lot of things, but I'm just going to add a little. So I think the statement of purpose, personal statements, but I think I intertwine the both of them. I'm going to like talk from my own perspective because it's actually telling your story, but then also tell the truth. That's one thing I'll advocate for. Like I feel some persons just like want to exaggerate and make the whole thing look like, oh, they really went through hell in school and all of that. But then the whole thing is you should just tell the truth. Make sure what you're saying is what actually happens to you while you were in school, and then make sure you state out your strong points. Like those times when you felt like you in school, the courses you did very well, state it out. The things, the group you joined, the things you did volunteering, just add everything there, but then make your story enticing. Don't just write like you're starting a point and then you didn't even state, like give more reason, cite example leading to what happened, and then you went to another point and then you're seeing another story altogether. So the way I actually wrote my own was that I started my story from secondary school, and then I linked it to how I was able to graduate very well in school. And then my second paragraph, I talked about why I want to do my course and the research I want to do, like why I want to do that. I linked it to my project work in school. And then finally, why I applied for the scholarship and why I chose the school. So I just like connected everything. I didn't say too much sad story or anything, but then like I was just giving points to this is why this happened and this is why I have an interest in this thing. So just tell your story, like don't make sure you're, even if it's a sad story, but then let it be that you're saying the truth.
Of course.
Okay, so that's like what I have to add to what they have said.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it's surprising that they provide about 3 pages for this year. Did you guys write 3 pages during your application?
No, I think it was 2 pages. I think
2 pages.
It's part of they gave instructions about the font size.
Yes, and the number of words.
Oh, really? I don't know, 3 pages. Would you advise people to completely fill? Because I've reviewed a few personal statements from the guys from the group, and it's like 6 pages for study plan and personal statements. So I really don't know if that is too much, or maybe they should. I mean, it's interesting. The one I read was he has a lot of story and he has a lot of experiences and everything. So maybe is it a good thing or a bad thing to write that much?
No, it's not advisable. There is one of the Twitter spaces I attended that shaped my mindset about statement of purpose and personal statement. We have a PhD student here who will know more about research anyways. He can actually throw more light on that. It's quality over quantity.
Okay.
Exactly.
Like Sophia said, when I was talking about challenges, it must not always be challenges. Sometimes it can be something innovative that you did, something entertaining that you created, a concept you like to show the world. So it must not necessarily be a story. It might just be an analogy you want to paint regarding teaching. So imagine if someone who is doing education, an educationalist cannot paint a negative story. Now children they teach now.
Yeah.
So you can actually tailor your SOP to connect with how you want to teach children with special abilities, differently abled people, how they can learn more, how education can be enticing. So your story has to be unique. Sophia just painted that picture. I wanted to emphasize more. It must not be a sad story, and quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
5 paragraphs can send your message.
Yeah.
Like the SOP I used for KDI was about 5 paragraphs.
So,
It was just two paragraphs each for different sections, as the case may be. And the one I used, and I think Olumide can actually align to that school of thought, was I used just 2 pages for GKS, and it got me to the interview stage. So you must not write that plenty.
I also think it's 2 pages.
oh,
Yes.
yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Just 2 pages.
Bashiru, if you want to add something here, please. He's a PhD student, as I said. He has all the experience, to be honest. So please, if you want to weigh in on this.
Hello, everybody. You're saying I'm a PhD student. You're also a PhD student.
Okay, right.
I don't really have much to say, but firstly, I would want to talk about the GP, which is the grade point of the applicant.
Right.
I would not want to limit themselves because they have a 2-2 or something lower.
Yeah.
Like okay, people of first class and second class are applying, so I have a 2-2, so I cannot get it. The competition is much. I would like to say myself also I had a 2-2. I had 3.4, 3/5.
Wow.
I was able to get the scholarship, and I have my funding and everything is fine. So
Yeah.
the first thing is, one thing you should know is that your GP is not the only thing they are checking.
Yes.
They are checking other things. What is the research experience you have?
Yes.
Now, even they've allotted some points to having English test for GKS.
Right.
So other things that you can gather and writing a good SOP to make up for your lack of this thing, your work experience is there. For the SOP, in my own, when I was writing to this school, you know the normal way, did the introduction, then I talked about the job experiences I've had because I'm going to a construction lab, so I've worked with construction companies, so I mentioned them, mentioned the project I've supervised. Then my final year, I was able to do some research for my final thesis in undergraduate, so I talked about that. And luckily to me, my undergrad professor has published the paper, so I was the second author. So I think we had like 2 papers then.
Wow.
So I just mentioned those things, and we just talked about, because coming to Korea is very keen about research.
About
They want
research.
you and do research. Can you carry out the research without supervising you? So if you can show them, and can you write these papers, because they are not English learned like that. So if you can show them I can write this thing, I have this ability, then they would try to focus more on you compared to someone that does not have, because they don't have time to teach people.
Exactly.
I cannot even remember which
Yeah.
my professor has said, sit down, let me.
True.
No,
True.
you have to teach yourself. So these things are what will get you there.
Yeah. True.
So I would not want people to be demoralized because of the issue of GP. So
Right.
that is my number one thing. And also I would like people that have research experience to talk about their research in the SOP. Like maybe in your undergraduate, what did you do?
Right.
Just talk about, not important that it is published. Talk about it and know, and make sure you are writing the real thing. Don't just write rubbish. talk about it. Okay, this is why I did this research, and this was my findings.
Right.
So it should not be too much. Okay, let's say somebody is doing some stuff in civil engineering, and okay, maybe the lab they are going to go for some they are doing work on some computational work, something. Then if you think learning LS Dyna is something, okay, I started learning LS Dyna, I got this certificate from Sarah, just
Right.
put some stuff or ANSYS or something.
Right.
Take courses online. There is a way you can take courses on Coursera for free. We call it financial aid. Make use of it. Go to Udemy, take advantage of those things. So those things will build up your CV.
Yeah.
If your CV is good enough, then it can get you something. So it's the same thing like me. I got a scholarship in China before I go to Korea.
Yeah, I
But
remember
Corona did
that.
not allow me to go to China because of Corona period. So they blocked they closed down their country that period. So
Right.
the following year I got Korea. And still with the same 3.43/5.
Exactly.
So it's just your mindset. You have to change your mindset. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And about the professional certificates and all, that's why I like GKS. GKS will allow you to attach any document to your file. Just attach everything. Attach everything you have, and if they don't need it, they will remove it. But just attach everything you have. So I remember when I applied, even I attached my Red Cross, the Red Cross certificate from NYC.
Very important. Even church certificates.
Yeah, actually, this is I submitted your file, some of your files for you, and I saw some of this. Baba. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for that, Bashir. I really appreciate it. So so that's it about study plans. Let's know if you have questions, and we'll talk about whatever questions you might have. And the next thing is the study plan. Right, so your study plan is meant to list, state what you'll be doing during your years in graduate school. It's very important you have a definite plan marked out. So, do you guys have any tips on how to write that great study plan to get GKS or to get the professor scholarship?
I think there are several ways of writing a study plan because I've heard some of my guys, some of my friends, the way they wrote their study plan is quite different from mine.
Okay.
So yeah, I think for I had a friend that got scholarship for professor scholarship. I got a professor scholarship. I think for those in professor scholarship, it's more of like research proposals, something like that. I'm not quite sure.
Right.
But let me just give the summary of how I wrote for GKS mine.
Right.
For GKS, they will give instructions to write about the language study plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And after that, the next one is the goal of study. Yeah, the goal of study. Then the last one is the future plan. Mm-hmm. So for me, so I divided it like that. Okay. So the first heading, I wrote language study plan. Oh. So the instruction was just explain your proficiency in English or Korean. Okay. Are you proficient in English? If not, how do you plan to be proficient? Are you proficient in Korean? If not, how do you plan to be proficient? And how you aim to pass through the language school? So I wrote, my first paragraph was just three sentences. Okay. How I'm proficient in English. So I thought it needed to just, some people did not even write about that, but I just wrote it that I'm proficient in English. I have a letter from my school that proves that my undergraduate study was in English and I was examined in English. That's the first paragraph. Then I have started with Korea. So I explained to them that since the time I planned to come to Korea, I've started learning Korean language through YouTube. Yeah. Exactly. So I gave them 2 YouTube channels, these popular ones. Talk to me in Korean and one other. So I told them I've been using all these apps. This one, Duolingo. Yeah. So I can say a few words in Korea. I told them then I moved to what are my plans for the language year. So I told them how I plan. So I wrote mine in form of essay. Yeah. Some people will draw tables. Some wrote theirs in tabular form and they put the timelines. Okay, in the first 2 months I will achieve this and that. In the next 2 months I will achieve this and that. I have some, I think some people did like that, but me, I wrote everything in form of essays.
Yeah.
So it just, so that was what I wrote for the language study plan. Then for the goal of study,
Right.
so I just told them my research interest, what I would like to do, my research area, my research interest. I explained those things. Then I told them that in my own case, I applied to university track. So fortunately, I've gotten a professor already. So I mentioned it there that okay, I've gotten in this school and in this department, I've gotten a professor that I would like that is interested in having me.
Okay.
So I put it there also. So
that's
the goal of study. Then the future plan. I wrote it there. I would like to do a PhD after the master's program. I would like to work in Korea for a while. Then I'll come back to my own country and do the normal.
We're waiting for you. That's good. Waiting for you. We need you back in Ilorin so you can develop.
You mean myself?
Yeah, I mean that's what you promised.
Yeah. In the future, maybe we have to do something for our own country.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, Sophia, do you have anything to add to this?
Okay. I basically followed SARS sample, like the templates you sent to us. Then that was what I followed. But then I used my the things I wanted to do, my language study plan. I mentioned that I was going to like make friends, Korean friends that will help me and teach me more of Korean because I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything in Korea at the time I was writing it. So I just like said my story that I was going to make friends and then I'll study hard and all of that. Then at the end of 1 year, I'm going to like have level 3.
Okay.
Then for the future plan, I just talked about what I want to do, PhD, but I didn't add that I was going to do it in Korea. Just like say what you want to do after your degree program, and then when you start your degree program, just basically I said I was going to do my research, just almost the same thing that Olumide did, but then the stories are different. Yeah.
Of course.
So that's just it. So just you can follow any template. I think that study plan you can follow any templates, but then Sir Alalade's template is actually the best for me if you ask me. So that's the one I use.
Yeah, but the problem is they give them 3 pages to write their study plan this year. So now I don't know if that's good or bad, but yeah, we'll see. It was 1 page or 2 pages. Yeah, about 2 pages.
That's so much.
Okay.
They don't finish the whole page. Just go straight to the point. Like what Emmanuel said, quality over quantity.
Yeah. Right.
It's not in the number of words, it's in the number of the things that matters.
Right.
Like I said earlier too, just do justice to all those question prompts. Like if you're in all the writings and all the stories, those things that they have, you have to like explain them.
Right.
Before you now add
yeah. Sure. Thank you so much. Emmanuel, do you have something to say about it? Is Emmanuel still with us? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here, my brother.
Okay. About
So I'm just going to make a simple sentence for us to understand. As much as possible, read the guidelines.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very important. For every scholarship, that's what actually gives you a niche. Just read the guidelines because they might actually want to know more about your personal statements, more about you, because your CV, it's more like a prototype, a mini picture of who you are academically, research-wise. I'm sure it's listed there, but the personal statement might be what they are requesting or what they require of you. So read the guideline and know what they want. So they don't write personal statements when they need statement of purpose. Right. They are kind of similar, but you can actually distinguish them. So just read the guidelines to help you. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Bashir, do you have do they require a study plan for? I mean, when you apply for PhD, right? They do require.
Yes, they do. And it's almost similar to what scholars have been saying. So the stuff is just that they write the question on the box. I think 5 questions, and I think I wrote like I think a maximum of 200 words for each of the questions. So they just wanted us to go straight to the point. And one of these, he has done this, and we've worked together, blah blah blah. Then after your this, then what are you going to do? So okay, I'll be going back to this, and I'll be doing this. I want to work in this university at Nigeria, civil engineering, blah blah blah. So just write it. And one thing I would like people to know is that when you finish answering the question,
Right.
go back to the question, read it,
Right.
and ask yourself, did I answer the
Answer.
question? If you don't answer the question, erase it and write it again. I've done this like so many times. You think you answer the question that they asked you, but you just find out that you just wrote rubbish.
Right.
And you have to, if even somebody else say, no, you didn't answer the question. I wrote one essay one day and I gave it to my friend and he said, you did not answer the question. I had to go back again and start thinking, okay, what am I supposed to write?
Yeah.
Till I got it right. So you are applying early, there's still time. So take your time to write a good and a good study plan that will give them a good conviction about you, and
Right.
make sure you research the professor you want to work with and know the reason why you are going to work with him and
Right.
what you have in mind to do with him when you get to his lab.
Right.
I think it's really good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Emmanuel wants to add something, right?
I just remembered something.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
A second eye is advisable.
Definitely.
I'm not going to say it's important or necessary. It's advisable because I always fall victims of some typos during first trial.
Right.
So a second eye gives you insight. It takes 30 for just send it to somebody else. Please, can you read this thing for me?
Exactly.
I had something. I had a mishap about 3 weeks ago because I was trying to copy my document from a different system to another system, and I lost literally all my documents. So if I had them, I would have shared them and would have given more insight. So a second eye will help you. Let the person just review it. Even if the person is not a scholar, is not in your field, let him just look at the typo, the paragraph composition, the sentence composition, and the generic state of that that statement. Because most times people will read that this is looking like what AI wrote to.
That's it.
For people who have this insight, so they can change the words, play around it, and it makes it look real. Because whether you like it or not, most of these things they send it to Turnitin.
Exactly.
But after the first stage, after the first stage, send it to Turnitin, Medley. Those apps help look at it for you, and they help you understand that. They help you rather fine tune the sentences and the statement of purpose better.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Olumide mentioned about the English proficiency in the. Was it Olumide? Somebody talked about that. I just wanted to chip this in that in Korea, even though it's Korea, it's a Korean country, it's a Korean speaking country, but they really, really value international publications. So, your English proficiency matters a lot. So you might want to write that in somewhere in your, maybe on your CV or something. I put it on my CV that I have an IELTS and I submitted my IELTS and everything. So that might be important for you as well. Thank you so much, guys. And then the next one is the letter of rec. Oh, sorry, Yusuf Abdugani raised up. Do you have a question? You can go on. Unmute your mic and ask. Okay, see. Yusuf Abdugani, are you there? Okay, let's just go on. The letter of recommendation. All right, yeah, go on.
Yeah, sorry for that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Yeah. I wanted to ask about the required documents. How do you go about the notarization thing?
We'll get
do you have to? Okay.
We'll get there. Yeah, sorry. We'll get there. I think we'll talk about the documents required for notarization towards down the table. So don't worry. Well, I know that's like the most important thing, to be honest. Okay.
All right. So
yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. The next one is the letter of recommendation. Obviously, you have to get this from your professor. And if I remember correctly, you can't use a scanned signature, right? It has to be a physically signed a physically signed paper. And do they need to stamp it and seal it? There's something mentioned there about seal. Now, does that seal mean sealing as in a stamp, or sealing as in sealing it in an envelope? So anyway, what I did, it has always been written like this. It has to be sealed, signed and sealed. So what I did was to seal it as in stamp it, and also seal it as in put it in an envelope back then. But I don't know if there is more clarity on this, guys.
Well, I think it's the same thing. They stamp, then they have to seal it in an envelope.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I guess I was lucky. I was like, what do they mean by seal? Because sometimes, they use seal for the stamp. So, yeah, guys.
Okay. Something to say about that.
Yeah, please.
So, my way is that when you stamp it and you put it in an envelope,
right,
and when the envelope is sealed,
yeah,
the lecturer has to sign on the flap
to
the envelope, so that when it is opened, they can see that it has not been opened before they receive it. So the lecturer has to sign on the flap.
Exactly.
That will cover part of the envelope, or you can use a stamp on the flap.
On the flap.
This
Right.
thing.
So
that's how it's actually done.
across the flap, they just sign it across.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Right. So luckily, they reduced the number of required letter of recommendation to just one. So I know, Kotewa, even if you are an SUG Aluta person like Emmanuel, you will still have one friend among the lecturers that would that would recommend you, right? So, yeah. So
I will recommend that the applicants get a professor.
Yeah.
Not a professor.
Yeah, a professor.
You have to get the professor or the woman. Beg them.
Right.
Just make sure you get from a professor. It's very
that's true.
So
A professor is regarded as an expert in that field.
right.
So regarding the envelope, what I did, don't blame me, Sha. You won't know what's in the inside. So I pleaded with the professor that wrote the recommendation for me, because I sent somebody, I gave the person money to go to school. I told him to just stamp it and sign it, but don't seal it.
Okay.
I told him that I wanted to add something else inside.
Okay.
So I bought the envelope. I bought the envelope myself.
Okay.
You understand? So I bought it myself, then printed the school logo on it myself.
I see.
Because most of the envelopes they use in school are not that quality. So I bought that Concord envelope, they printed on it. It's just a certified that has that gum. So I took it to him, he stamped on the back, signed it, then they brought the envelope and the letter for me. So I was the one that fixed it myself. I read it and I was sure that. But if you don't want to follow through that long process, just like our doc here said, just get it. Recommendation is recommendation. Let it just be preferably from a professor. But if you don't see professor, use what you have and move on. Don't kill yourself. Don't wait and wallow in pity.
Right.
Just use it and move on. Because that is just one part of the requirement. It's not the whole requirement, as the case may be.
Yeah. Actually, in Korea, professors are like kings. They are the top. They are the highest level kyosunin. So unfortunately, when I applied, we had no professor in my department, if I remembered correctly. So I had to use senior lecturer, but they specified like senior lecturer. And at that time, we needed 2 recommendation letters, but it's good that we need just one now. So yeah, if you have professors, please use professors. They are referred in Korea. So then the next thing we have is the Korean language program exemption. Okay, we don't need this. Then the GKS application agreement, of course, you have to agree. The personal medical assessment, you just tell them you are healthy, you are healthy, you are healthy. If you are not healthy, state that you are not healthy. And the applicant's parents' proof of citizenship. Now, we are getting serious now. So the applicant's parent proof of citizenship. What kind of proofs are acceptable at the embassy or at the NID? What kind of proofs do they need for your parents? Olumide or Emmanuel or Sophia or Abidemi?
For me, I use the NIN of my parents, like my dad NIN and my mom's NIN, and I used my own birth certificate and my NIN to everything.
Okay.
The surname was the same, so I just used that.
Okay, so NIN goes. Good. Okay. And how about like the birth certificate of your parents as well, and the maybe age declaration? Do they accept this? Did anyone use something like that? Olumide or Emmanuel? Sophia?
Yes,
Yeah.
for me, I used my mom's age declaration because her birth certificate was missing
Okay.
and we couldn't find it. I used age declaration and my dad was late, so many things. So that's what I used and luckily it was accepted
Okay. So the
for
death
me.
certificates from the hospital.
Yeah, and then my mom's age declaration and I did have voters card for like double check.
Oh, okay.
So they can double check that this person is really my mom.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. And I believe if your parents have international passports, I mean that should work as well, right?
So
Olumide. Okay.
just to add in,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah. Sure.
if you get those documents, I advise when you're going to the courts,
Okay.
just do the CTC on all of them. If
Okay.
you have all of them, just do the CTC, the
Oh, CTC.
certified true copy.
Okay. Okay.
Copy it and do certified true copy because I think in this whole application process, they value documents that are certified
Okay.
by any court at all. Just let that stamp be on it with that red barrier and everything.
Okay.
I don't know what they need it for, but I think they value it a lot.
Do they need to take this also to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or anywhere?
Yeah, of course. Let me say, for my own, I did the legalization at Abuja for my parent NIN, and I authorized it at the Korean embassy. So I did it at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Then I authorized it at the Korean embassy. So
I see.
there was no any this thing because they already saw the original and they authorized the copy. So
Okay. Okay.
that's
I see.
what I did.
I see. Thank you so much. So now we have the NIN, the age declaration, the death certificate from the hospital, the birth certificate, and what else? What are the international passports? Obviously. So I think those are the. I think NIN is very easy to get, right? And the birth certificate as well, I guess.
Yes, NIN to get, you just have to go to any registration center. They put in their details and they print for them.
Good. So just do you have to go with your parents? I mean, that shouldn't be a big deal, right? Just take your parents and get it.
Parents can go there and do it. It doesn't take time.
Perfect. So I think that's it. Yeah.
Actually, someone if you are using the NIN, someone advised that you get the one in shape of a plastic, not the nylon, not the paper one.
Okay.
That one is also easy to get. You can even do it by yourself. You can download the NIN app, then you put in your details.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it will bring it out in form of that card.
Oh,
you can get the soft, just print it on the paper.
Oh.
But the form of that card looks more like official than the paper.
I see. Okay. And then if you do that, if you print it online, are you going to be able to do the CTC and get the stamp on it and everything?
No, you just print it out.
Okay.
When you have the soft copy, just print it out on the paper. Then you can do everything on that paper.
Perfect. So that's so easy. That shouldn't be a problem then. Very good. Okay, thank you guys. Then the next one is the bachelor's graduation certificate or diploma and the transcript. So let's just talk about both of these together. I believe they have to take this to the ministries, right?
Yes.
So
very important.
Walk us through how to go from. So you graduated and you want to get all your documents notarized. What are the stages you have to pass through?
As a last step, because I don't know, because I think they change the method every time.
Okay.
When I did mine, the first thing is you want to go to the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Before that, you have to contact your school.
Okay.
The school you graduated from to send a verification email for them to verify your certificate.
So who sends? Does the department send it or like the school registrar or something?
Yeah, the school registrar. The school registrar. Yeah. Or the body that is responsible for issuing the certificate.
Okay.
So they will send the verification email to the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ministry of Education. So once they confirm that they sent it, you can appeal to them to send you maybe a letter to verify, the letter of verification.
Okay.
So that be able to have something like backup.
Okay.
That's what I did. I asked them to send an email to the Ministry of Education and also to give me a verification letter. So what they did was just that they just copied me. Like what they sent in the mail, they just copied me also. Like
Okay. So,
yeah.
sorry for cutting you off. So the ministry gives you the email to the receiving email to use.
Yes. There are 2 emails.
Okay, and the email has to come from an official email address of the school, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Emmanuel just sent the email to the group now.
Okay, thank you so much, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, what next?
Yeah, like you said, the email has to be the sender email has to be an official email from your maybe registrar's office or maybe I don't know, depending on how your school works.
Okay.
So after you've done that and you've sent the email, now you can now proceed to Minister of Education.
Okay.
Then, if you are going to Minister of Education, please take along your white certificate also.
Yeah.
You might not need you don't need that for this application, but the Minister of Education they need it to do the
Very true.
education.
Very true.
They will do their stuff from the Minister of Education then to the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Okay.
To do the stamping. Another thing I would just say is that make sure that I think Mr. Emmanuel already sent it to the group.
Okay.
It's very important. All the receipts, especially the remitter receipt, it's very important. The one from the Minister of Education and the date on the remitter receipt when you make the payment. If you are doing it yourself or you are sending somebody, make sure that those things, the dates are the same thing. The date on the signature and the date on the remitter receipt is very important because the embassy might raise issues. So those are those things. And when you are done, then go to the Korean embassy.
Okay, so you have to do this for your graduation certificate, your transcript, and how about the birth certificate or any WIAC results?
Birth certificate.
Birth certificate.
And I don't know if you use, I don't, maybe if there isn't birth certificate for the parent, maybe that also required. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because I only did my certificate transcript and birth certificate. Only 3.
So how many photocopies? Okay, sorry, please go on.
Yeah, I didn't do for NIN, but I think some people did for NIN. But I'm not sure. I didn't do for NIN. I used my parents' NIN as their means of identification.
Okay.
So I didn't authenticate for legalizing. I just submitted it.
So do you go? How many photocopies are you required? Just one or maybe 2, or how many do they do? Or do you pay for as many as you want?
Yeah, as many as you want, as much as you want.
I see.
Depending on, I think, I didn't do it myself. Okay. I couldn't go to Abuja for Lagos, so I sent it across to someone to help me.
Okay.
So the person just started there and added his own. So I don't know the exact price.
Yeah,
the exact
the same thing for me.
As much as you want, I think as much as you want. If you tell the person, if you want to authenticate 2 copies or 3 copies, you can do that.
Yeah, and guys, don't forget the WIAC result. I did forget during my time, and I stayed in Oshogbo, so you can imagine I had to come back. I had to resend it to the person who helped me. So Emmanuel, do you have something to add to this?
Okay, it's looking like this one is not my specialty.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've been Minister of Education and Embassy for myself and a lot of persons. It's a good thing. It's beautiful. I will pay it forward. Having said that, I heard that the first email, the ESS at education or something is filled up.
Okay.
So use the ESS at education. The ESS at education, like I sent it. Then in the email you copy Loretta.
Okay.
Sorry, you copy like that place in the email where you have CC, then you copy Loretta Appa at yahoo.com because she's the person who received the document. It's one fair woman like that is chubby.
Okay.
So she's the one now in charge of it, and they've changed the director, so the process is now hectic.
I see.
And mind you, the demand is also very high. A lot of people want to leave the country.
Mm-hmm.
Now, talking about the legalization at the embassy, there's a cheat code I used that got me to where I am today. So what I did was that instead of doing double for each document, I did just one.
Okay.
Yeah, because that one you did automatically turns into your original. So when you do that one, you look for a very, very good color photocopying machine.
Okay.
There's this high definition color photocopy machine that when you use it to photocopy a document, it looks almost like the original.
But a question there, sorry. Why can't we just do 2 copies for each and use them as many times as we want?
That's what I'm saying. Like if you do 2 copies, and it's required that you send via DHL for GKS.
Oh, okay.
After submitting that one, will you go back again to do another one?
Okay.
Let's say you want to submit for KDI, GIS, submit that singular one you've submitted. You have to go back to the embassy for another legalization. So even if you submit the original for GKS,
okay.
the copy can fly for other applications. That's what I'm saying. So just do a high definition color photocopy, both the front and the back of each of the documents. Because the verification they do for people that have not done it before, there's a white printed paper that has the legalization written in front, then they counter stamp it on half back of the document and half on your document.
Okay.
So you can just photocopy it like that, and it looks almost like, even till now, I still have the original. My original, that one I legalized, I still have it. So I just photocopy continuously and I use it like that. It makes your option open where you can submit countless applications, because all the application needs your document to be legalized and it doesn't expire.
Right.
So, and the money has even increased. Okay, let's take for example someone who is going to legalize WAEC transcript. Transcript is no longer the whole transcript for 3-4. It's now per page.
Okay.
You pay 6,000 per page. So let's assume your transcript is 6 pages. You pay 6,000. You pay for your original certificate. You pay for death certificate, birth certificates, NIN, and the likes. It becomes cumbersome, and the cost for something you are just throwing in the towel for. It's not like it's certain that you're going to get it. Although for people who are hopeful and put in the work, they'll get it. But the truth is that not everybody will get it. So why key yourself over one when you can have the option to extend and spread your tentacles? That's the point I'm trying to make. So photocopy it and keep enough as you can, because let's take for example KDI opens up, you still use that same document, scan and submit. If they need you to submit your document to the school, still that same document, you submit it. And yes, and the like. So that's what I want to say.
I agree with that. If you're applying to the university, you can only apply to one university after all. So you can just do one.
One thing that we are failing to, I don't know, is like they merged KGKS and GKS this year.
Oh, did they?
Because remember last year there was KGKS and GKS.
Okay.
So but this year it's only GKS.
Oh,
so then they had the KGKS, then GKS. So that was why I was able to submit to 2 applications then.
I remember. I remember.
There's also another GKS that's going to come out very soon around March, the language GKS.
Okay.
That Koika organizes and the like. So if you have the document, you can still apply for.
Oh, I see.
Waiting for the application. Thank you.
Thank you. I think the situation where you might be required to have 2 legalized documents, authenticated documents, might be if you're applying to the embassy track. And I don't know how they do it now, but back then the embassy results comes out first, and if you're not picked, you can quickly revert back and apply to the university route. So in that case,
to do that.
I
want to say something.
Okay.
I did the same thing Mr. Emmanuel did.
Yeah.
So when I did my copy, then I looked for a color, the clear color for the copy. I did front and back for all the documents to have my copy. So I even submitted the colored one. The color for the copy I submitted, my original is still with me.
Oh, nice.
It's still with me.
Nice.
So in the case of people that also apply for GKS and still want to apply for professor funding, because you don't know the one that is coming.
True.
So you can always make copy of the original, then submit it. Apply for professor funding, apply for GKS, apply for Koika. Just apply, because it's still the same legalization. So why do you have to make the Ministry of Education rich?
Yeah.
And the embassy rich?
Yeah. Exactly.
The copy, it's still the same thing.
Definitely. Don't be like me. I have 1 copy here since 2021. I'm not using it. I did many.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just get it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Another tactic to learn
It's still
is to scan everything. Like scan before you submit, scan everything in a PDF file. So you can just print out with a very strong colored printer.
Right.
No, I don't agree with that. Once you scan, the quality reduces. Pick the original, that they gave you, not the scan. The original that you got from the photocopy. You can photocopy, and I even advise. Let me tell you the funny thing. I did 10 when I did the first quality, so the quality did not drop. It's a cheat code that will help you.
That's true.
That day you will not spend more than 5K.
I see.
Okay, let me tell you people that even have color. For people who work in private sector, in offices, offices have the best photocopy machines.
Right.
Look for your friend that work in an office.
Right.
Not the government office. That works in a big office when they have photocopy machine.
What do you mean by not the government office?
Government, they pay for it.
Okay.
No clear.
Okay.
So if you look for a friend that works in all these private establishments, they have the best photocopy machine. To tell you the truth, I don't even pay money to my photocopy.
Oh.
I just enter one company like that, and they get quality photocopy machine. The wisdom just hit me well. Now this thing. Once.
Then, waiting up.
Now when you make it correct, now that thing
Yeah, actually, this guy was he was submitting applications like.
I sent him 4.
Right. He was
Because I
submitting.
sent him 4.
Yeah.
I used to apply for Koika. I used the other 2 apply for this NEID. Now the last photocopy now is apply for GKS.
See, guys, this guy applied to so many. Actually, Christiana said, "Make person they fear you." Actually, this guy applied a lot.
And they give you now updates.
Yeah. I remember.
Connect updates from Korea. Connect updates come.
So
They wait for you.
So thank you so much. Thank you, Sophia. Is there something you might want to add to this?
Oh, so nothing. They actually said everything.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I guess if you have questions on this, I know this is even for me it's a little complicated because when I applied, to be honest, all these things no day. My authenticated certificates were submitted in Korea, if I remember correctly. I did not submit anything like that in Nigeria. Although people did, but I just told my coordinators in Gangneung Wonju that I do not have this document yet. Can I still submit? And they said, well, just go ahead. I submitted everything, and when I got to Korea, I sent them the original files, and that was it. So, but things have changed a lot. Back then, we did not have to go to the embassy for all these things, right? Only the ministry and then straight to Korea. But, yeah.
I have a question. I'd like to ask Dr. Abidemi because
Sure.
a lot of persons have been asking me. There is the part that he got is the part of the scholarship that is still untapped.
Yeah.
It's still untapped. So I'd like to ask him for clarity's sake because in case I want to PhD and I don't want to do for KDI, make the update detail.
Sure.
How did you approach the professor? Shay, you send a love letter and I see the same code there. I just see you like you. What was spectacular? How did it happen? Tell us the story and what we can learn from it. Because I know a lot of professors get funded.
Yeah.
In Korea, it shocked me, guy.
Yeah.
When you see a system that works, you will not see their budget, no be like Nigerian budget for education. They have budget because, like for example, now just to complete the question, KDI alone, they get funding from Samsung. They get funding from World Bank. They get funding from Global Climate Fund.
Yeah.
GCF. They get funding from plenty places. Now, what to make them feel they give scholarship like that? You understand? Everybody, 95% of people schooling in KDI on scholarship, and the diversity is crazy. We have literally students from every part of the world.
Right.
In KDI. Sure. About 100 of us that were admitted this year.
Yeah.
Now Nigeria and Ghana, we get the highest because we have about 8 from Nigeria and Ghana the same thing. Other persons 1, 2, 3, 4 from every place. So, and I know some of these professors now them they fund some of this research. So, sir, can you tell us more? so that people can spread their options. I'm always open-minded. I'm not going to depend on only one place. Maybe that's the reason why I got to where I am today,
Right.
or got scholarship. Because even when I told Mr. Sam about KDI, I say he never hear about this.
I did not.
And I just posted it on the group. I applied and I removed my mind, and here we are today. So when you're open-minded and you spread your options, the possibility of you getting this funding, and the STEM funds are crazy.
Right.
There are a lot. So, sir, in summary, I beg, tell us the magic word where you swing will make you get that.
Yeah.
It's actually not a magic. China closed their border, and so some of my friends decided to apply to Korea. And one thing that has happened was that next semester they told me they are going to Korea. I was like, what happened? They said they got in. Then okay, so I started mailing professors too. Then I mailed professors. I think it took me up to 3 months before I got 2 professors. One was willing to fund me for GKS, and the other was willing to fund me for professor's scholarship. So then he just told me that, okay, I will give you stipend, but you have to apply for the university scholarship.
Okay.
Because our university has a scholarship, we call it Best KNU.
I see.
Bring everyone to count it. So basically, almost all universities in Korea has scholarships that can waive your tuition.
Very true. Very true.
So because my friends in Daegu too, they have King's scholarship. So my professor just tell me, you will apply for Best KNU, then I will recommend you. So then I will pay you stipend from the fund of the lab. So then I was like, what if I don't get the scholarship? It's like, then you have to pay for school fee. I said, I don't get money. So because I applied and he just left everything like that. I applied, submitted everything I have to submit. Then he submitted the recommendation. Then everything else happened. I got the scholarship, and he just sent me because this time it's not GKS. So he has to send me some document like his employment certificate, his bank certificate. He sent me his bank certificate, and he sent me one other document too. I think it was 3. He sent me the financial support document.
Right.
Okay.
From my university. So those 3 documents, I submitted my documents with it to the Korean embassy, and I got my visa.
Oh, perfect. After the session, if you don't mind, you can send me the email copy, the magic email you sent to this professor, as Emmanuel put it.
I said magic email.
I sent it. So
magic email. Then I just decided like, okay, I'm not go with because I wanted to apply for GKS, and that's the 2, so I'll just get one. Then when this professor was serious, and I like his area of research, but the GKS professor, I don't really understand. Like, I don't really like his research area because he was into GIS something, but he was willing to tell me that don't worry, we'll work together. I don't want to work with him because I love concrete. So I just said, okay, I cannot apply to your lab.
You love concrete.
Yeah, concrete is the most beautiful material.
I just consider with concrete.
If you know, you know.
I can't relate. Then I just left the GKS, so that's why I still have my original certificate with me.
Okay.
The one I recognize.
Okay. So in all
seriousness, the 3 years I have to go for language school. I have to go for
right.
You just have to do 2 years, no language school.
Yeah, true. Actually, that's something. GKS takes 3 years for a master's degree. It's a lot. So if you get professor scholarship, it's even an advantage. The only thing is that you might have the language, but really, as I said,
classes, first semester and second semester, I took just basic something.
Korean, exactly. And really, most of the things you'll be doing in Korean labs, even though it's Korean, it will be in English because they want you, they value you because you're able to submit to international journals and everything. And you'll be doing a lot of editing.
Before, the machines in our lab but now they got the machines they are bringing now is in English.
Exactly.
So I can use all the machines.
Exactly.
All the machines. Before I was having problem, I have to tell them what should I press. So they will make me a video. Okay, you have to press this to do this. But they bought in English, so I can use the machines.
Exactly.
So
So if you're going to Korea for a graduate studies, Korean wouldn't be your problem. If you're going there, just know your English very well. It's the most important thing. Thank you so much. So in all seriousness, after the meeting, if you send me the copy, I'll send it to the group.
We can work on it so that it doesn't look.
I'll remove of course, I'll remove your details and everything. Then I will also send my own copies too. I sent some copies before too, so I will.
Drop update. So there's something I want to say.
Okay.
It might sound hilarious. But, it was a motivation for me. While we understand that getting this whole scholarship and going through this whole process can be hectic because you don't really know whether light at the end of the tunnel. Try do it first. Don't worry about the lights. Just keep working. Just do it. Don't depend on Korea alone. As funny as it might sound, don't depend on Korea alone. If there's MasterCard, if there's Commonwealth, if there's this scholarship I got a MasterCard last year, but they refused funding my flight tickets to AUB, American in Beirut. Yeah, and I nearly regret that more because I for just go there. I don't know say GSB. So whatever it is. If you define motivation, make I give you one motivation. Since I come here, they never take lights. Since I come here, they never take lights.
No, lights
never take lights. Wi-Fi there, Wi-Fi even there for public places, so you can do whatever you want. And that brings me to what I want to say.
Yeah.
When you come to a system that works, you want to open up the tentacles for other people to experience it.
Of course.
And that is one of the things I told them, Samuel. I've not met Mr. Abidemi before, or Mr. Olumide. We've not really talked that much. Apart from the fact that I said, I said, making share in stipend with me, great. If you come to a system that works, you want to bring other people. So whatever it is that you're having issues with, I might not be able to give you documents because I don't have them. But no matter the question you ask, we have always promised to pay it forward.
Right.
There's something someone used to tell me. Say, Habibi, come to Korea, don't come. So guys, please come to Korea. You're not going to regret that. And Korea is going so fast that language issue is no longer a barrier. Language is no longer a barrier. A lot of persons are going to Russia, going to Sweden. I think Korea is even getting more exposed because I went to the store today. One of my experience, I went to Daiso to buy something, and on getting to the place, I was finding it very difficult to talk to the person, and I just tapped the other lady subconsciously, and I say, "Oh, do you speak English?" So small. And she helped me. I was trying to get the bus card because I hear updates, don't get bus card. Something weird.
Sure.
Just 1 week I don't day, blame me. And she spoke English so well to the extent that I was amazed.
Right.
And this is somebody you just randomly met, and it makes you understand that a system that works is accommodating. So whatever it is, I beg. Just try. Don't look that 100,000 or 150 where you want to spend verification. You have it.
Yeah.
If you have it. One of the challenges, let me give another cheat code. Your school might be a very big limitation for you because some of them they take time to send your name to Ministry of Education because of this whole Benin Republic fake certificate.
Right.
If you have anybody that works in exams and record, pay the person.
Right. Okay.
Pay the person. If he wants 10,000, 20,000, just pay it. Don't wait till when they follow the process. When you motivate that person, since you've done your transcript, so your file will be handy to be available. Just give them that money because 1 year we just take away all the pain you faced.
Right.
Yeah. So just try as much as well. I'm not saying you bribe person, but it's not waiting you call and no.
Yeah, you said it's motivation, so we just call it motivation. Okay. Yeah. And apart from the language, which will obviously is not a problem. Have you faced any form of racism and all? I think people are sometimes scared about that. When they go out of the country, especially to places like Korea where they don't have much black people. So.
Racism will only happen for places where they thief. or where you do something. Like people park their bikes, electric bikes, everything on the road, nothing concern them. They go where they go, come back.
Right.
So let me share a story with you. A country that, if to know a country that experiences racism, most of us that before I came to Korea, I thought somebody was coming to South Korea. The first thing he said was, maybe this country where they dethrone their president or they're having political issues. So I don't even get this P2B, Tinubu, yes, some weak political mindset. They come say, if you don't go, the key person they do. But everybody they go their way. Nothing concern they concern government. Everybody is moving. When they bus the other day, and there was
They do Christmas candles of
nothing concern. One man they check one Nigerian girl, the girl fine very well, I'm not gonna lie. They ask the girl whether she don't marry. Her son go like am. For country where racism dey, now they won't marry you. So let's just racism they only happen to people who say they leave waiting they come to go they do another thing.
Okay.
If you just face waiting carry you come here, you know go even get issue with anybody. So I think this is the last thing I will say before we go out of context. So they can ask their questions and
Let me add something. Someone asked me a question to them. It was like, is Korea safe? I was like, Korea is very, very, very safe.
Extremely.
I used to walk 2 a.m. from my house to my lab to go and off the machine I'm using to work. I've come home, go to lab 2 a.m. In my country, I don't think work at 12 a.m.
2 a.m. Okay.
Yeah,
you need to come out for 10.
From my machine I'm using to work in the lab, sometimes I have to leave the experiment to run for
the curing time.
I'll go home. I'll go home, then I'll go back 2 a.m. and go and off the machine. And the next day, 5 a.m., I don't enter lab. So Korea is very safe. The CU beside my house is 24 hours. It's operated. You can go here 3 a.m.
Yes.
Korea,
I would not say that I don't have, nobody used to be there.
No brand. You don't need anybody. No brand. You just go inside no brand. Pay what you want to pay and buy. I have a class that starts by 9 p.m. and ends by 11.
Yes, now.
Take credit for class. I'm going to be learning this semester. I never go class before. It shocked me soon. So in my first listing. So when I first got to Korea, right? The taxi that, because it was like I got to airport at 6 p.m. and I'm coming to my place is very far. So I got to Sanchok like 1 a.m. So from Karen, I took a taxi because there was no bus. So to Sanchok. So when I got out Sanchok, I was very tired. I forgot my laptop bag and everything was laptop and some things were inside the bag. I only took down my boxes. People were waiting for me. So we sat down. So when the taxi had left, and when it was time to go to my house, because my friends were like, what will you eat? I see you because you're just traveling, you're not eating anything. Then it was time to go, man. I was like, where is my bag? I said, oh, I forgot my bag in the taxi.
Damn.
Just call the taxi man, and I said, yeah, he has seen it. He's going to drop it at the police station. So he just dropped it at the police station.
Yeah.
I think it was the third day. We just went to the police station in Kaning to go and pick up it.
Exactly.
So I think
Korea is one of. I've been to a few countries and I can say it's one of the safest countries.
They don't go too far.
Yeah, they know they safe anything.
Nobody, like, apart from saying they stay around student environment, say person do bad, you see them. The person use the other person not which is not even a case. That thing has not even happened. It has not happened before. Like, let's say living area. Korea can give you anything. And one question where most people ask where they never ask, they say they want ask a question about life after school. There's opportunity for you to stay back in Korea. If you even fall in love for the ladies, the Korean guys are very handsome.
Guys, okay, guys. Oh, I know Sabi that one, guys. Okay, someone asked a question. Please, can you guys share on the group a checklist of things to get for the scholarship application so that we can know what we should prepare or what we're missing? So I don't know if Henrietta just joined, but I've been reading the application guidelines to us, and I will send it. Actually, just check the group, check the pinned message on the group, and you'll find it. And if you don't have it yet, I'm just going to send the application guidelines all over again. So just read through this application guidelines. It's on the required list is on page 14 of the guideline. And somebody asked, can you work while schooling? If yes, how many hours? So for GKS guys, are you guys allowed to work while schooling?
Yeah, after 6 months.
Okay.
After 6 months of graduate school, they said they can work. I think 20 hours per week.
Okay.
I think 20 hours.
So okay, so how is the Arbeit? Okay, yeah. So how's the salary? Is it? Are you able to survive on the if you work? Are you able to survive on the salary, on the payment you get from? You've not tried it though, but I'm just curious.
I've not tried it, but the stipend is okay for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even despite the fact that I'm living in Seoul, even our domicile. Well, I'm not a big spender, so I can't really say.
I can tell you. Yeah. For GKS, you really don't need to. Well, for my own personal.
For any scholarship, if you are contented, let's say you be like me, where you say you left home to feed home.
Yeah.
It hasn't said that.
Exactly.
It's advisable for you to find your bearing academically before you start. No matter how good.
True.
Exactly. Because that's the main thing that brought you here.
Exactly.
I don't say talk something, but as much as possible, find your bearing first.
Yeah.
If you don't do your first and second semester, then third semester you already know where you did.
Yeah.
And Baba, you know your body too. You won't come the work for spring where everywhere they freeze. You end up using all the money you're working to beat yourself health-wise. Your body are not adapted to the temperature. So just respect yourself when you stay alive.
Exactly.
It's better for you to work during sunny period. So during this cold weather when we say you try to protect yourself, just stay alive.
Yeah.
The money when you find, you go get them. But for the time, just stay alive. Now so me I think, I don't know about that person.
Now so this weather, you have to give yourself that time.
You get used to it. I'm sure Abidemi has something to add. It's been in Korea for about 3 years. So maybe please.
You might have a different experience.
Definitely.
I would support your what you said, because when you get to the country, first study the country, like face your primary assignments, then study how the weather was. Because somebody like me, when I first got here, anytime the weather is changing, like we are moving from mostly from when we are getting to winter period, then I used to feel sick. So I went to the hospital. Then I just told the doctor. The doctor said that I am fine, that there's nothing happening to me. It's just a change of weather. Just get hot soup and take hot soup.
Okay.
And he didn't give me any drugs. So I just go back home, like bought the hot soup from the market. Then I just warm it, and I stayed home. I didn't go to work for like that day and that one. So, but when it comes to the working, you can work in Korea. We call it Arbeit. So you can work in Korea, and depending on a master's student, you can work up to 30 hours per week.
Okay.
And you can work on weekend for any amount of hours you want. Saturday and Sunday, you can work for any amount of hours you want.
Right.
But from Monday to Friday, you can work 30 hours. I think for BSc undergraduate, you can work 20 hours.
Right.
So if you are a master's or a PhD student, you can work 30 hours.
I see.
So, but you have to apply. You have to, and I would advise you to work legally. You have to do the application at the immigration center.
Of course.
So they would ask for your transcript, your language, something, and your national office, your student national office will prepare some documents for you.
Right.
And you can submit it online on iKorea, I think.
Yeah.
If you not submit, if you know you don't want to wait, just go down to the immigration center and submit there, and they will file it for you, then they will stamp it. It's usually like for 1 year. So after 1 year, if you wish to renew it, you can renew it. And about the this thing, it's like and on public holidays, you can work for any amount of hours you want.
Very good.
So the salary is like 9,600 something
Okay.
currently wage, but normally most people pay 10,000 per hour.
Okay, good.
Well, you would see other places that pay more than 10,000, maybe 12,000, 15,000. So
Experience
the major thing is people working in restaurants and doing this. There are some more hard jobs that pay more than that.
Of
But
course.
guy, no key what you think.
Yeah,
No
actually.
key.
Yeah.
More jobs that pay more than that minimum wage that you can do, and you get better money than that.
Definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
If my husband, no. So you don't depend, and if you are going to do anything, do it legally, because you don't know, you might want to stay in Korea for a long period, and it might end up affecting you if you don't do the legal thing. So just, it's not your country, do everything legally.
Exactly.
File the legal. If you are allowed to work, go and work. They say don't work.
Exactly.
Manage what you want.
Okay, thank you so much. There are lots of questions on the chat, but just give me a moment to read through all these other optional documents, and then we'll get to all the questions. There are like some really nice questions going on. So the next one will be we've talked about the certificate, we've talked about this. So proof of Korean, what's this? Korean document, Korean adoptee document. We don't need this. Then proof of Korean citizenship, we don't need it. Proof of Korean War veterans, we don't need it. Certificates of employment, we don't need it. Score report of valid topics or English proficiency test. So if you have your IELTS or you have your sorry. Okay, so if you have your IELTS or your TOEFL and all these certificates, you can add them, and it will be an advantage to you.
I want to say something. I just remembered something you're saying. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, please.
So there's a letter that Minister of Education gives, letter of English proficiency.
Okay.
So yeah, if you don't have IELTS, you don't have any of those English proficiencies, you can apply for that letter too. When you're going for your legalization or verification, just tell them that you want letter of English proficiency.
Okay.
Most scholarships see that one as a superior document to your university letter of English proficiency.
Okay. Okay.
So you can apply for that and use it for this purpose.
Yeah.
I just wanted to check that.
I think the universities also give, because I have one letter of proficiency from my school. But
If you use the two of
I
them
don't know if
together.
does GKS accept that, or just as a supplementary document, right?
They accept it. They accept all Korean scholarship, anything where you get.
But now the allotted mark, the allotted point for
TOEFL.
English test. So if you have the English test, it is better.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I was applying to this university, I used IELTS.
Okay.
Even if you want to get the university scholarship, you need to have English test. If you don't have English test, forget it.
Okay, I see.
So
please attach everything, right? Attach everything you have.
If it is not useful for them, they will remove it.
Yeah.
Just if you think yourself this is useful, put it.
Yeah. And the next thing is the awards and other certificates. As I said, as everyone has said, attach everything you have. Your awards, your professional certifications and everything. Put them together and send it. I don't think everything will be more than 1 kg anyway. So add everything you have and send it to them. If they don't need it, as Abidemi said, they will remove it from there. And of course, the last thing is your passport. If you are trying to japa, obviously you need a passport. So yeah, I think we've been through all the documents to submit. Then there are some. We've talked about the legalization. We've talked about the authentication. Okay. So I think we can go directly to the questions. And, let's see. Okay, so somebody asked. Somebody said I want to add that the policy of letter of verification for Ministry of Education has been relaxed so far. I think from October 2024. So he said I was able to authenticate my documents in the ministry as of December without the letter of verification. So I don't know how true this is, but definitely, if this is possible, it's a good news, because getting in touch with your university and then say it can be a very tough process. So confirm with the ministry. Is there a way to contact the ministry and ask questions, guys?
Well, when I was doing my legalization at the ministry in 2022,
Yeah.
there was nothing like letter of verification. So
Yeah.
when they were saying that, I was like,
Yeah,
what
it
letter of
started in
verification?
2024 or 2023.
Something like that. I just sent this thing to somebody I knew there. The person
Exactly.
did it for me there, and they sent it within 2 days. I had my stuff back.
Exactly.
Exactly. I think they just did that thing for last year.
Yeah.
Because my friend that applied early last year, that did all this verification at 23 December period. He didn't do all this verification stuff.
No, it started in February. It started in February last year. Benin Republic University Saga.
Yeah,
Making everything hard for everybody.
I tell you. Okay. So just maybe try to verify from the ministry if they don't need this.
But they don't go respond to you.
They never respond, but well, if you can get the letter, then that's good. But I guess we'll wait for.
Unless you know somebody. If you know somebody, it's fine.
I bet some guys will go from the group. If you are in Abuja, please start your application very quickly so you can give us the necessary info. Last year, thank God for people like Emmanuel, Omar, Christiana, Olumide, Sophia, everybody. Lots of people applied and they were able to give us lots of information. So if you're in Abuja, please go there and be our lab rats kind of. So yeah, let's go on. Please, is the professor scholarship available for master's program? If yes, is it compulsory to do 1 year of Korean language before starting? Bashir, I'll just throw this to you.
I already said it then. The professional scholarship does not require 1 year language year. It's just you get in, you start your masters.
Right.
And he said, is it available for masters? Yes, I came in with masters. So after my masters, actually you can take MSc plus PhD direct, like as a direct this thing.
Right.
So if you take that one, means at the end of the number of years for your education, you have your PhD certificate. They call it combined, like MSc, PhD combined.
Right.
Or you can take your MSc alone. Then after your MSc, if you want to proceed to PhD in the same school, you can apply for PhD again and do your PhD. Or if you want to go elsewhere. I did my master's in this school. After I graduated, before I graduated in my final semester, I applied for PhD again. So I resumed PhD immediately after I finished my master's.
And it's funded continuously, like both.
Yes. Funded. I got the same scholarship for tuition fee waiver for my master. I got the same for PhD. And my lab kids paid for me. And the one thing about the professor's this thing is, if you do well, the professor will continue increasing your salary. It's not like GKS; it is fixed.
I told you, it's richer than GKS people.
If your professor can even dash you money, you can just look at you and say, "Take."
Yeah.
Take this 1 million.
So you can increase your salary even if you can talk to him and say, "Professor, like this time there's inflation, salaries, blah." You can say, "Okay."
You can't talk to GKS, but you can talk to your professor definitely.
But this only happens when you're a valuable asset, though.
Thank you so much. So Prince Will asked, could you please provide the format or guidelines on how to properly contact a professor? So additionally, is it appropriate to attach my CV when reaching out to professors? So Abidemi already mentioned this, and after the call, I will reach out to him. He will send me the email samples he sent to professors, and I'll forward it to the group. I promise that. Then Abidemi is asking, is it appropriate to attach your CV when reaching out to professors?
Of course, attach your CV. That is your selling point. Write the email, a short email. Don't write a too long email because no professor has time to read 5 pages. Just write a short 1 page. Then attach your CV, a well-written CV, maximum of 2 pages. 2 pages maximum. So just put everything you have, let it fit in the 2 pages.
True.
Then give it to send it to the professor. So the professor already see from your topic, from the subject of your email, you already know you want to ask for a position in his lab. He already knows. That is one thing a student will send. So your CV is to sell yourself. You can refer from this school, you have this research experience, you've worked at this place, and just make everything 2 pages. Within 10 minutes, you should be able to finish everything and decide.
True, true. A brother reached out to me from the group some days ago. I've reviewed CVs for a lot of people in the group, and the CV, he has a lot of really good experience and really good educational background. Graduated with a first class degree, but the CV is too long. So I sent him a copy of my CV just to guide him on how to properly format. So if you need a guideline, just reach out to me after the call and I will send you my CV. So format it properly. As I said, 2 pages. I have just 2 pages CV. We don't have lots of experiences yet anyway, so you should be able to fit everything, properly arranged and neatly written.
Send me to make I cut my own.
Yeah, cut off all necessary things. I will send it to you, bro.
I need to make an plan.
Wait till they apply for again now. Okay.
Ambition now.
Okay, so I think those are all the questions. If you have any
somebody asked a question that
okay.
caught my apologies.
All right, yeah.
Intruding. The person asked the question if there are other scholarships. Say Emmanuel.
Okay.
You mentioned that scholarship. Can you send us a list in the group?
Oh, sorry about that.
I don't get any list, but I will tell you the ones where I applied.
Okay.
So I applied. There's a scholarship called the GKS. Then there is the NIIEP scholarship. It's called the National Institute for International Education. They have scholarship to the KDI. Then there's this school that has big funding too. It's called GIST. Then there's also another one, KAIST scholarship. It's a university. Dr. Abidemi said something. He said that all the universities has funding. So the cheat code here is just make it a point of duty. You can say in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to reach out to 20 universities, draft your code mail, and open up universities in South Korea. Go to their admission page, get the admission link of the university, and send the admission coordinator a mail. He will give you the required information and the scholarship available in their school. Right. Then if he give you waiting day there and you like what is there, you can now go back and look for a professor in your field of interest, since the scholarship you're looking for is there. Right. And you can also tell them if you like to use them for your GKS scholarship and the like. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah. You just go there. While you're applying for KDI, then this one will just become your backup option. Doc wants to say something.
So I want to say that all this information, you don't even sometimes, it's a good idea to send the coordinator a mail, but sometimes you might not even really need to send the mail because the information is on the website. Transparent company. It's a very transparent country. Like you find all the scholarships on their website. Just translate this thing to English. You find the information there. If you don't now understand all the criteria very well, you can now send it.
I see.
Scholar.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So then that way you can get more information about the scholarship. Then you can go to the website, see the professor that fits your area.
Exactly.
Don't just make professors. Message the one you have interest in and
sure.
Just to add, to make it look like say Twitter and X na shop logo.
Yeah.
So it's just like that generally, and there is this B2K scholarship too. Okay. Universities have B2K scholarships too. Like I know some people that have B2K scholarships. Okay. So you can check some schools still have B2K. So just check their website. You see the scholarships there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
The criteria for them.
All right. Thank you. So I also have some quick questions. Firstly, what exactly does GKS offer you? The whole thing. Do you have to pay for the visa, or do you have to pay for some things out of the pocket? So if you get the GKS scholarship, how much do you think you should prepare? For the whole thing from your own pocket.
Yeah. normally for the GKS, normally how it's supposed to be, once you are awarded the scholarship, you will not even spend 5 naira. Maybe only transport fare to go to the embassy
Right.
to apply for a visa. So you don't have to pay for visa application.
Right.
You don't have to pay for your flight ticket
Right.
to Korea.
Right.
The tuition fee for the language school and for your master program or PhD program is completely covered. Then you'll be receiving monthly stipend.
Yeah.
Monthly stipend of over 1 million.
Right.
Yeah. It's around 1.175 million won.
That's so specific. Thank you so much.
But yeah, that is just how it should be.
Okay.
But let me just keep this in so that some people like can't just in some situations like some schools. I think some of my colleagues, their school, I don't know. You know the way BKS works, they will just like hand you over to your school. You are in charge. Like everything they want to give you is through your school.
Right.
So I think some schools, when we were planning to come, some schools asked the scholars to maybe pay for their flight ticket by themselves first. So when they get to Korea, they are going to refund to them.
I see.
And some even ask them to pay for their dormitory first.
I see.
Like so, when they get the stipend, they are going to like refund them, something like that. So I think it depends on the school.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And if you are applying for the professor's scholarship,
Right.
know that you are going to pay for your visa and you are going to pay for your flight. There is no charity for that one.
Right.
Bring your mind there.
You have to look for money. I borrowed money too to come to Korea. Thank God I have no money there too.
And also, let's also keep this in for the GKS.
Okay.
The scholarship does not cover your accommodation.
Oh, okay.
You have to pay for your accommodation. So if you are staying in dormitory, maybe your school will deduct it from, and if you are staying outside the school, you have to pay for your accommodation.
True.
But your stipend is over 1 million, so I think you should be able to cover for it.
Yeah.
But you have to pay for accommodation yourself.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. So I have a two-in-one question. Now, firstly, there are type A, type B universities. So what does this mean? Secondly, how did you select that university you applied to? How do you filter of all these universities? There are like 33 plus 41, so there's a lot of universities listed here. So how do you filter out the one you want from all this list?
I think Sophia has to take the question, because in my own case, I already have a school in mind. Like I applied for the school scholarship.
Okay.
Like the department scholarship first.
Okay.
So now when I did interview with the professor now offered me like 2 options or 3 options. So he said I should try the GKS first. So I already have. So I didn't mind if the school was type A or type B. I already know that this is this school. I said I won't see that. I advised me to apply for GKS. So I just applied for university track. So I think Sophia should just take the question.
Okay. Sophia,
Yes, sir, Professor.
Yeah.
Okay. In my case, I didn't start my application on time, so most of the schools were not open.
Right.
The applications were already closed, so I just worked with the ones that are available.
Right.
I went to their website and checked the school and what they do. Then I decided to apply. The first one I applied to was Samuel's University.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I was not able to notarize my document on time. So that's why I missed the deadline for that one. So I could not apply for that one. Then that's when I chose my school, because we had like only 4 schools, actually 5 schools remaining that had the last deadline, which was 1st of April. So you don't have to pick anyone and apply to. That's what I did. But then you have enough time now. Check the universities, check their locations, where you want to be, and all before you choose the one to apply to.
True. Thank you so much. Thank you. As she said, the deadlines for each university differs. Unlike the embassy track, where they have just one deadline. For the universities, it differs from university to university. So you might want to use that as a kind of filter to know, you know your timeline, right? You know how fastly, how quickly you can get your documents ready. So use that as a filter. Also, as Olumide said, he had a school in mind. Now, I will tell you my story in 2020. Okay, I applied twice for GKS actually. I applied in 2020 and 2021. So in 2021, the school that eventually picked me was a new school. So most people already have these schools in mind. They have Soltech and these big schools that have been in GKS, that have been with GKS for a long time. So many people have these schools in mind already. So what I did that year was to watch out for the new school added. I knew not many people would be applying to this school. So I chose Gangnam Wonji University because it wasn't. I compared the last year because I applied last time. What I did was compare them and select the new schools that were added. Then I filter out which ones will be delivering their lectures in English language, which ones have my program and everything. So you will find all this information in the university information on the website. The link again is on the chart, so it's pinned. Just check through. I think about 3 schools or 2 schools were added to new schools were added to the list this year, so you might want to check that out. Now, that said, I'm not saying you shouldn't apply to the big schools that were already on the list, but it might be an advantage. Then, so the deadlines, be careful about that. Also, it might be good for you if you filter them out by saying the schools that offer their courses in English language or your course in English language. That might be an advantage for you. I was very lucky. My school offered 50-50, both Korean and English. But when I got to the school, it was purely in English. So I did not have to use my Korean, even though I studied. So yeah, that might be an advantage for you. And that's it. So Adetoro Kudos Adebayo wants to ask a question or chip in. Please take the mic. Yeah.
Yeah, please, actually, I want to make an inquiry. I have 2 questions. First of all, as regards the track,
Okay.
actually take taking of questions. I'm not actually making the university in the application form or after the first independent applications. That's one. And secondly, actually, I have ND, HTML, and bachelor's. Not actually, okay, I would like to document or I just do my HTML and bachelor's. Those are my questions.
To be honest, I couldn't hear you very clearly. I think it's a little noisy there. Or I think you said you have HND and bachelor's. Did anybody catch the question?
Yes,
Okay, I think Olumide.
I have ND, HND, and bachelor's.
Okay.
I want to be sure if I'm to legalize and get the 3 credentials, but I don't my HND and bachelor's only.
Okay. Thank you so much. And what was your first question? You asked 2 questions, right?
Yes, I asked that. I know we have for the embassy track, we have to choose 3 universities. So I wanted to be sure if I'm giving to first 3 applications,
Okay.
3 universities to choose, or I've just mentioned universities in my application form. So I can see at the embassy.
Okay. So Olumide, you wanted to go for that?
Yes, concerning the first question about the embassy, is it about writing the essay? Did you ask maybe you should add those universities here, include them in your essays? Was that the question?
Oh yeah.
No.
He's saying 3. Okay.
He's going to submit 3 applications.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what I think is that in the embassy track, there is a place, maybe in the form of something, that you have to state 3 schools that you want to go. I think they said you should take 1 type A and 2 type B.
That's it. Yeah.
So, because one thing is that type A universities are high universities like Seoul National University, maybe Soltech, SKU. So, and type B universities are the ones of
regional universities. So it is you have to. So it says embassy track applicants may choose up to 3 different universities from type A and type B, and you must apply to at least 1 from type B. No, at least one from type B. So
at least one from type B.
Yeah, exactly.
So but me, I would advise somebody to just pick one type A and two type B universities, and then there should be a place for you to list the universities. So it's one you are going to submit. So during the screening stage, the interview stage, and you have to check the universities you choose very well, make sure you meet the requirements. So if you pass the interview, then they will forward your documents to the university, like the first one on your list. Then if you get in that one, then they will forgo the remaining two. So if you don't get in, then they can switch to the other two and see from there. And for the HND and this, I think you just legalize everything and just submit.
For the embassy track, you need to submit 3, right? It says document to complete. Embassy, 1 set of original documents plus 3 sets of additional copies.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, please read the guidelines, okay? Please read it. This question is answered clearly on the guidelines. Please read it. And what else? Okay,
they
now
really need to read the guideline, like the guideline printed for this year. They could read everything.
Everything, please.
I will tell them that scholarship application takes time.
Yeah.
It will take your time. You have to give time to it because you have to invest your time. This is not something. It's just like a work on its own. It's like you are getting a job.
Right.
So spend your time, and it will consume money. You have to spend money too. You have to give those two things if you are really serious.
Yeah. Then he asked about the NDHND bachelors. Does he have to legalize all the documents?
If he's going to submit his OND and HND, he should just legalize it because I don't want there in the future there will be anything like say maybe there's any problem with originality or something.
Okay.
If you are submitting it's education documents, legalize it and submit it.
Okay.
If you know you want to submit your BSc alone, you don't want to add your OND, and because for him like that, I'm very sure he will take direct entry. So if you take direct entry and his transcript start from 200 level, it might be like where is the rest? So you should just legalize OND, HND, and BSc. Give them everything.
Okay.
Fight with it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah.
Just to add to what Doc just said.
Right.
But all these documents increases your chances. When they see your OND, your HND, that's you submitting 3 degrees, as the case may be. So it increases your chances that you've been exposed to a lot of research and rigorous academic activities.
Right.
It will make you, they will place you higher than somebody that just has 1 degree. And mind you, if your your BSc certificate is like a 2-2 and you graduated with an upper in your HND and OND, it complements for the deficiency you have in the other one. So it makes your application more competitive and more appealing to the interviewer or examiner, as the case may be.
Very true. Oh, thank you so much, guys. It's already 2 hours, so I think we did justice to most of the things listed in the guidelines and how to go about them. And if you have more questions, I'll drop it in the group and we'll be ready to help. And also, as Emmanuel said, a second eye is very important. So after writing your SOP, you can send it to anybody here, and I'm sure they'll be willing to review them for you. So thank you so much, guys. If there is no other questions, I think we can stop here right on time. Thank you, guys. Olumide, Sophia, Emmanuel, and Abidemi. Doc, Emmanuel don't give you new name now. From now on, you are Dr. Abidemi. I'm not calling you any other name. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining.
Doctor, now. Doctor, why doctor?
No, you're doctor. They know people are doctor. You're not doctor.
I beg. Thank you so much, guys. I know it's very late in Korea. It's about
Where are you staying?
Okay.
Samchok. Samchok. Gangwon-do.
This guy never sabi Korean.
You get mad. Don't get postcard.
Okay, guys. So thank you so much. If you have more questions, we will answer them on the group. Okay. And
please feel free to ask any question on the group, whether it's stupid question.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't know something,
and Yeah, Abidemi is not on the group yet. I will add him to the group if that's okay.
I am on the group, boss. I've
Oh,
joined
you
today.
are. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, guys, have a great day and have a great night, and talk to you guys later. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Night.